Okay, this time we're going to try how to put the value into different angles. So light sources are right top, and this curve is the tricky one. There are basically many different ways to do it, but what angle that you should do when you are doing this. So one way of doing thing is you can just create a line going this angle, right? So it's not like straight lines you can block something and then shade, right? So if you have actually there's a ruler that bends, but then actually you can do that using that. So this is one way of shading this angle, or you are just going this angle. And then what happens? You just keep tilting the angle and keep tilting. Okay, both needs a lot of time comparing to straight edges. Okay, so or if you were familiar with hatching, you can do crossing, but since we are making everything really smooth, you don't want to go too much line. That creates a different texture, unless that's your intention. So I did some before I start, because we've been doing the straight edge parts and plain parts many times. So always have this one handy, right? From 5 to 0. It can use to create when I was little. My teacher asked me to create 0 to 10, but usually 5 to 6 will do. Okay. So light is coming from the top, so bottom will be the parts that's going to be really dark. Again, this part is the parts that, let's say this part is going round, so we're going to create a little bit of reflection, right? And then further away it gets a little bit lighter too. Okay, so that's one way of doing it, right? Using different lines, right? Because light is coming from here, it hits there, so I'm going to leave it light. And again, so top parts it is light, and then if it goes out of the angle, don't worry, you can always use the erase to cover back again. And then again, bottom side is the dark parts, so I'm going to intentionally make this bottom parts more darker than others. And the point is, again, I know you can use smudging blending tool and then smudging it, but your skill will increase more without using that. So keep developing how to use your strength, control of your finger, and the strength of your hand to create things on your own. Okay. All right, so since there's nothing underneath, we'll consider the reflection and then make this part a little bit lighter than the bottom parts. Rounding parts in the letters are a little bit tricky. So practice this often, then any cylinder forms, things like that will get easier to do, because this is a basically application of all the basic shape and forms, putting it together. Right? Once you do that, what do you do? Just use the eraser and then go around, and then you can erase. This is not going well. because the eraser just smudged it. I like this eraser better. So let's see that I can cover. No, they already smudged it. So depending on our eraser and pencil, you gotta be really careful. Yeah, this eraser used to be good, but I think this just particular package that instead of erasing it, sometimes it creates the smudging marks. Okay, so that's how you create